We are enjoying some of our goodies from Prince Edward County. From Millefleurs, we bought the county wildflower honey and the lavender infused honey. They both smell very, very, very good. The lavender one smells very, very lavendery. Just having that on some pieces of sourdough. And hubby is having this, which is comb honey. He really loves this stuff, and he had it for the first time in Italy. So that is also from our recent trip to PEC. Hubby and I are using one of our new charcuterie boards that we made in Prince Edward County. This one in particular is the one I made. Hubby didn't want to get his dirty, so we're gonna use mine. We have some of these regular charcuterie bits. We've got some nice cheese there, some grapes, some little chorizo bites, some tamari almonds, some pecans, some dried fruit, olives, pickles, that sort of thing. We've got some sourdough here, and we've got these little spreads. They're called cheese toppers, and we bought 3 of them in Prince Edward County. The lightest one to the far left is the one that my friend picked up for me for our Christmas gift exchange this past holiday season. So that is the rose jelly. Trying it for the very first time. I keep forgetting about it. And those 3 are from Prince Edward County. We also opened up a bottle of wine that we got from Prince Edward County, and this is the Cabernet Franc from Black Prince. We did taste it before we bought it. We've already started eating, but here is charcuterie day 2, and this time we're using hubby's board. His is a little bigger, so the stuff fit on it a little bit easier. I'm gonna see if hubby wants to try one of these sodas tonight. We got these in Prince Edward County. They are non-alcoholic, and we first saw them at the agrarian market. And then after that, we started seeing them everywhere, being served at restaurants and just people in general drinking them. Would you like to try one of these pops? Which one would you like? Oh, I get to choose. I think I will choose the lavender lemon basil. Yeah. Hubby's having sushi tonight. I've already eaten my sushi, but I'm going to have some popcorners, and I'm really, really thirsty, so I'm excited to drink this. Hubby and I bought this espresso maker. I've been thinking about that flat white I had at Beacon Bike and Brew when we were in Prince Edward County, and that started getting us into this whole thing about coffee and espresso. We actually ordered a bunch of coffee from a company called Quietly, which is the brand of coffee that Beacon Bike and Brew uses, and as that was shipping, we decided to buy an espresso maker. We bought a small one, the Bambino Plus, and it got really good reviews. A lot of people on the subreddit espresso really like this as a starter machine, and it's supposed to be good for beginners who don't want to put too much time and effort into learning how to make espresso. So there are a lot of automatic functions, including the milk frothing and such. And that was what really appealed to us, because while I do like espresso, I don't have like a high caffeine tolerance, so I can't drink it every day. And I also really do like milky drinks like flat whites, and hubby really loves lattes and cappuccinos. And I also like to make tea lattes, as you guys may know. And that little milk frother that I haven't been using it a lot, because it doesn't froth that much milk at once. So sometimes when I make a frothy milk drink, I have to do like 2 rounds of milk frothing because it doesn't hold a lot. So anyway, thought this would be a fun purchase. Never made espresso before, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna have one tonight because it's already 6 p.m., but I think hubby's going to make one. Here is all of the materials that come with it. Comes with this portafilter. Oh, it's actually quite heavy.
Is it?
They said it feels so cheap, but I don't think it feels cheap. Maybe compared to the other ones?
Oh, yeah.
They say that portafilter isn't great, so we actually bought another one, and we'll try that one as well. We bought one of the bottomless portafilters that don't have like the little spouts for the coffee, because they say that's really good to use to troubleshoot your espresso, the grind, and all of that good stuff. So this is the tamp. that you use to tamp down on the coffee. So this is some leveling razor that you use to level off the grinds. And then there's another one of these pressurized baskets that go inside the portafilter. Today we bought the bottomless portafilter along with a non-pressurized basket. The pressurized baskets, I've learned, are useful when you buy ground coffee. But if you have a grinder, which we do, you can use that to do a finer grind, and then you don't actually need the pressurized baskets. So I learned all of that in a day yesterday when I was obsessing over espresso makers. Okay, so maybe you can help take this out because it's got the foam around the machine. Okay, put it on the counter. Oh, let me move some stuff. This was tucked in to the foam as well. This is that little milk pitcher that you use for steaming. Here it is. Yay! It's so tiny! We got the color Black Truffle. It was the only one they had, but it also says truffle on the box anyway. It looks really nice. It'll tuck in really nicely next to our grinder, which is back there as well. We ordered the espresso machine from ECS Coffee, which is in Ancaster in Ontario. And I also ordered this because it was on sale for $12.99.
Rat tails.
Did it properly. I was worried the grind wouldn't be perfect. It looks pretty good. Oh, it looks good. It's like some nice crema on top. Smells really good. I'd have one tomorrow.
Oh, that's so good.
Woo! Should I take it out?
Okay.
That's what it looks like. We're gonna do the milk now. This is almond milk, so don't know how well it's gonna foam. Looks pretty foamy actually. And we have it on the medium foam setting and the ideal heat setting. It's ready. And then when it gets to the end, that's when you start making the leaf.
Leaf? How am I gonna make a leaf? How they do it?
Oh,
Goodness.
It looks like a snowman. Oh, that looks good. Yay! I can't wait to drink one tomorrow. Is it good?
It's yummy.
I can't have any. I'll
It's
be able
good
to
though.
sleep. I'll have one tomorrow. I can't wait to make
that's
one
so
tomorrow! Yay! Here's our haul from Quietly Coffee. Bags are beautiful. I can't wait to try these coffees. And then this is the card from Quietly, and I love this so much. So instead of giving you a brochure from Quietly and printing and like wasting paper, they rescued a bunch of old postcards essentially from the trash and sent that to us. And I love that because I have a huge collection of old postcards and I don't know what to do with them. So this is giving me some creative ideas. We've used the espresso maker so many times. I think we've had it for just over 24 hours and we've already used it, I think like 8 times. I myself have only had one double espresso, like a milky drink, I guess you would call it. I did like a 1-to-2 ratio, which I thought was like a flat white ratio, but it tasted a lot stronger than the flat whites I've had at cafes. I also made myself a matcha latte this morning, but I didn't use enough matcha powder, so it was pretty weak. The matcha flavor wasn't all that strong, and I also didn't put any sort of sweetener in it, so it tasted kind of just like unsweetened almond milk steamed. Still enjoyable, but not what I had in mind. Today with my dinner, my snacky dinner, because hubby's at work today, I am going to have this. This is decaf espresso, a double shot with almond milk. I'm trying to do latte art and failing miserably. So we definitely don't have the latte art down yet, but I'm eager to try this. This is the Quietly coffee, and I couldn't wait to age it the proper amount of time. The beans that we have were roasted on July 21st, so technically I should have waited until around July 30th or 31st to grind them, but I couldn't wait, and I thought this would be an interesting experiment to see if I could even tell the difference, because I'm not a coffee connoisseur. Like, I like the taste of coffee, but I don't know all the nuances. I decided just to have the decaf beans a bit early so I could have a latte in the evening and not be up the entire night. So I'm really excited to try this coffee. It smells so good. This coffee tastes so different from the one yesterday. I found the espresso, the 1.21 espresso, I think it's called. That had a very different flavor. It was almost a little bit bitter, so maybe I can adjust that by adjusting the grind. But this one tastes really good. Not bitter, lots of depth of flavor. I don't know the notes, I can't really tell. I've had a lot of decaf espresso, but usually I drink it just by itself. I drink it black. When we used to go out to restaurants, I would often have a decaf espresso after dinner. And I found a lot of the shots that I had were really sour or bitter. I'm not sure if it was the beans itself or maybe the way the espresso shot was pulled, but this has a really nice flavor, and maybe I should have just the espresso by itself because this has almond milk in it, which I think has a really strong flavor, but this is really delicious. I had an in-person meeting with a friend today. This is the first in-person chit chat we've had for an extended period of time anyway. Like, we've seen each other in passing, and I've gone to her place to drop things off, and I've seen her in that sense, but we haven't sat down and had like a nice chat in such a long time. We're both double vaxxed, but we still sat like a good distance apart. We sat at Harborfront in the shade and just chatted. It was so nice in the shade. It's really hot and humid today. I think it's around 36 with the humidex. We chatted for just under 2 hours and then we parted ways, but it was a really nice catch up, and it's been a long time in the making. So now I am going to rest a bit before dessert, and then I might actually do a bit of work tonight because hubby's off tomorrow, so I don't like to work when he's off. There are a few things I must do tomorrow just in terms of my workflow, but I'd like to try to keep working to a minimum, so I'm gonna do as much in advance as I can tonight while he's at work, so then tomorrow we can have more time together versus me sitting at the computer working while he's doing something else. So I think that'll be like a really good use of time tonight, and I also feel motivated to do the work. I wanted to chat a bit about why I think I was able to slide back into routine so easily this time around versus other trips and even other staycations in the past. And I think it's because I maintained as much of my routine as I could. I woke up at around the same time every morning. I went to bed at about the same time every night, although there were a couple of nights at the drive-in and also when we were watching a hockey game that I stayed up a little bit later, but I was still able to wake up the next morning at my usual time, around 5:30 or so. I would sometimes stay in bed until 6, but I was up at 6. I brought a little glass jar of coconut oil, so I still did my oil pulling in the morning. I brought my yoga mat, so I still did my very, very light stretching. I wrote my morning pages as well. I didn't go for a morning walk, as I mentioned in the Prince Edward County vlogs, but I did get enough steps during the day. And in terms of intermittent fasting, I still kept up with that, but I lengthened my feeding window a little bit. So in Toronto, I do a feeding window of 6 hours. So from 12 to 6 is my feeding window, and I do an 18-hour fast. And in Prince Edward County, I extended that to an 8-hour feeding window and a 16-hour fast. So that was still very manageable based on our schedule, and it was great. So I think by having those kind of like cornerstones in place, I was able to get back into the groove very quickly. I didn't feel like I had jet lag. And I recall even on some staycations, I feel like I have jet lag, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it's just that I get so thrown off track with my schedule that it's very hard for me to get back into the swing of things. The other thing I wanted to mention is that hubby and I ended up sharing a lot of food, and that helped as well, because usually when we go on vacation, we kind of go all out, and by the end of the vacation I'm just so sick of food. And when we get back to Toronto, I'm just like, I don't know, like my system is all out of whack. So this time it seemed like the little bit of moderation that we did, even though we did indulge quite a bit and we really enjoyed ourselves, I didn't feel like we overdid it. I feel like the food that we had was like the perfect amount of indulgence. The moderation also extended to alcohol. So even though we were in a place with tons of wineries and tons of breweries, we didn't overdo it with the drinking. We had a little bit every day, but I didn't like really let loose like I normally do during vacation. Sometimes during vacation, I'd have like 3 glasses of wine with dinner, and that was just like too much. So this time around, we would share a tasting flight, and it was like very manageable. And then at dinner, I might have like 1 cocktail, or like one night, hubby and I even shared a cocktail. I had most of it, but he had a few sips, and I didn't order wine after. So I would limit it to like 1, maybe 2 drinks at dinner time, and that worked out really well. We also shared beers. So instead of having like a tall can each, we would share one and just leave it at that. So I feel like the alcohol was very moderate as well. And the other thing I was really good about was coffee. So I do this thing where when I go on vacation, for some reason, some strange reason, I have coffee every day. I do love coffee, but I know that if I drink it every day, when I come back to Toronto, I am gonna get caffeine withdrawal headaches. I know this, yet I still drink coffee every day on vacation. And I've kind of always been like that. I'm not sure why. It's just this mindset of like, I'm on vacation, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna like have whatever I want in terms of like coffee and like food and alcohol and all of that. But this time I was like, you know what? I can bring my own tea. I have tons of tea at home still. I'm just gonna bring like a bunch of tea bags for my morning tea, which is like that huge box of Costco tea that I'm trying to finish up. I'm almost there. And as well, I brought my herbal infusions for the evening. So I just brought a bunch of tea bags that I already had. And it worked out great. I drank tea every morning, and I only had coffee one day. I had like my own coffee one day, and then the rest of the days I would just like maybe have a sip of hubby's coffee if he was buying like a fancy coffee that I also wanted to try. And that was awesome. So I got back to Toronto, no caffeine withdrawal headaches, no like digestive issues from overindulging, slid right back into my sleep routine, my intermittent fasting routine, my morning routine. So it was great. I'm gonna try to keep this up moving forward on vacation. I don't know how difficult that's going to be, for example, in a hotel room where the space is more limited. I probably won't be able to do my usual like yoga mat routine, but maybe I can do some small stretches in the corner of the room and still do my morning pages. So I'm gonna do my best, and see what happens with upcoming vacations. We don't have anything planned right now. Hey everyone, it is Friday again, and I keep forgetting to come back on to end off the vlog. So I am doing that right now so I can get this one posted. I'm sorry this clip is probably a little bit bouncy, but it'll be a short one. I just wanted to say that hubby and I are still enjoying our Prince Edward County treats. We've had cider from all of the places now that we tried, and our favorite is the County Cider Company. That cider seems to have the most depth of flavor. The other ones were a little bit more watery and not as tasty, with the exception being those cider slushies that we had. That is going to be it for this vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be back very soon with another one. I'll see you soon. Bye.